Okay, first of all, I'd like to introduce our company and myself briefly. Okay, our company TKI International was established in year 2014 under the mission to fulfill partner and customer success through digital transformation. Okay, this is my brief profile. As Misa just said, I'm currently attached with TKI International as a partner alliance manager. But I have spent most of my career working in the food industry, developing the business mainly in Southeast Asia, Japan, United States, and Oceania, right? My specialty is to support the improvement of business efficiency of the companies by making full use of IT tools, okay? So, oh yeah, by the way, the picture on the right is when I was working out. I've been working out since 10 years ago. This is my daily, it's not a hobby, it's kind of like daily routine, okay? And I'm based in Malaysia since year 2012, so I'm kind of localized, all right? Okay, today I prepared the 3 questions here to get to know a little bit of about yourself, because I already introduced myself, all right? So the first question is, where are you joining this webinar from? Okay, maybe some are attending from home, some maybe office, cafe, restaurant, and then maybe someone maybe run away from this environment, so attending from the car, I don't know. And yeah. And then the next question is, which sector are you from? After I checked the registration form today, I see the number of the participants from various industries, right? Not only the manufacturing industry. Okay. And the last question is, where are you located? Okay. We're going to close this poll in 10 seconds. All right. Okay. So let's see the result. Okay, home and office. Well, you can go to the office. Yeah. All right. All right. And today the participants mainly, education training. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's more. The people from education training is more the manufacturing. All right, that's good to know. And then some food beverage. Okay, later I illustrate the case study in a food and beverage, also manufacturing as well. Others 25%. Oh, quite a number of participants. All right. Okay, mainly from KL, Selangor, Putrajaya. Yeah, I expected so. And some West Malaysia, or 11% East Malaysia. Okay, thank you very much. All right. So I summarized here what we are facing today. Due to the impact of the coronavirus, the current economic situation has changed drastically, right? So we must change the conventional way of doing business and implement countermeasures quickly, right? As just now, since this is currently the MCO, right? Some people cannot go to the office or cannot go to the factory. So the productivity may be decline. If the productivity decline, of course, the sales decrease, right? And then the company has the very tight budget, so they have to control the outflow of funds. So eventually, they maybe reduce the hiring, right? And then, but still, they have to improve the efficiency of the employees, each employees, right? Okay, so what we have to do now, in the short term, in order to reduce the risk of infection, we must carry out the various operations in a contactless manner, right? So we need to rebuild our operations. In the meantime, the cost reduction, of course, requires as much as possible, because the current situation is expected to last longer, right? So in order to implement these countermeasures, we believe that it is important to have a visual SOP, the proper SOP in the company, right? I think many of you are familiar with what SOP stands for, but I'd like to ask you again, here another poll pops up. Do you know what SOP stands for? Yes, no, or maybe. Just 3 simple answers. Okay, so I close this poll another 5 seconds. Okay. All right, that's great. Yeah, because today I'm talking about SOP. Okay, yes, it's 94%. And yeah, now the SOP is a very hot topic in Malaysia. Everybody needs to follow SOP to enter the restaurant or mall or anywhere else, right? So it's good to know that. It is the standard operating procedures, okay? Okay, so let's talk about the short-term countermeasures, right? In the short term, we need to consider the shift of business and training to non-contact, right? So how you continue running business smoothly without any error, even under the remote work, right? And how do you carry out the staff training in a contactless manner, right? Well, we believe that the key is to visualize the SOP so your staff can work without making any mistakes and learn procedures by themselves, right? So here I prepare another poll again. Today there's so many interaction. Okay, so which of these options do you struggle most with when working remotely? Executing tasks remotely or contactless training, because currently the physical training or group training is kind of prohibited, or even it's not prohibited, right? Psychologically, we have kind of the reluctancy, right? So yeah, I need your answer. I close this poll in, okay, another 5 seconds. Okay. So let's see. Wow. Okay. Executing tasks remotely. Oh, boss. Okay. So people suffering from the boss executing tasks from remote work and contactless training as well. Okay, understand. Yeah. All right. Okay. Here's the benefit of the visual SOP, okay? If you visualize SOP, ambiguous and difficult tasks can be carried out without worries because the procedure clearly defined, right? And then the waste hidden in the daily routine or daily operation will be eliminated because the procedure review and optimize, right? And then also you can execute tasks correctly without any hesitation, right? Even if you never learn from anyone how to do it, because you can learn by yourself, right? Okay, here's the midterm countermeasures, okay? In the midterm, we must reduce the operation cost, right? So in order to do so, we believe having a visual SOP is also effective because the effective SOP helps your staff to carry out the work without any errors and mistakes, right? So the operational waste can be even reduced at the end, right? Also, by visualizing the work procedures and sharing the skills and the knowledge of each staff members with others, then you make the all staff to become multitasking. So this leads to the further reduction of the manpower and the hiring costs, right? And it is even possible to prepare an environment for self-study and reduce group training. So it leads to the reduction of the training costs, including accommodation and transportation, right? Okay. So today, I'd like to introduce one of the cloud solutions called TeachMeBiz in order to implement this countermeasure successfully, okay? Next slides, I'd like to show you the brief video of the TeachMeBiz. Sorry, this video contains a little bit of the Thai subtitles because it is created by the studies corporation in a Thai subsidiary, all right? Okay.
For executives, you may have troubles with these issues, such as employees often resign, which causes a huge amount of waste in cost, time, and resources for training new employees. Or you may face labor shortage or employees' lack of skills. All these factors lead to an insufficient work performance, repeated mistakes, customer complaints, as well as tax revisions that eventually affect the performance of the whole organization. You may think that having job manuals might solve all these problems, but when imagined about the manuals, all we could think of are thick books, technical terms, and the difficulty to search for what we want. Or even if you could find it, the content could be out of date, so the employees would not want to use them, thus making work efficiency remain as bad as it was. Moreover, another point is the language barrier that makes it hard to communicate with foreigners. Let us introduce Teach Me Bits, Visual Workflow Management Platform, the management system for job manuals. Suitable for all kinds of businesses, anyone can create, share, and manage the manuals in a step-by-step format with images and videos in 10 minutes. The era of reading manuals has come to an end. Instead, the manuals can now be understood by just looking. Manuals can also be found immediately with search function and QR code. All of this can reduce time and cost for staff training and minimizing job mistakes. Internal communication problems can also be solved with real-time notifications. So you can build a strong team as well as promoting faster and complete work. And with many more functions that will facilitate the organizational management, including task allocation and work progress monitoring by task function, controlling the quality of manual content with approval workflow function. On top of that, documents such as PDF, Microsoft Word, and PowerPoint can also be imported directly. In addition, access log, update history, and search history can be checked or utilized in conjunction with PDCA to ensure greater work efficiency. Teach Me Bits is a system that will help increase work efficiency in your organization through reductions in customer claims, manuals creation time, staff training time, and human resources cost. And you can be sure that all the staff will have the same work standard. Now it is the time to transform the utilizations of manuals to increase work efficiency in your organization with Teach Me Bits.
Okay, thank you everyone. Just now, there's a specific term PDCA pops up on the video. I'd like to reconfirm this is the meaning of plan, do, check, action. It's the specific the terms for the manufacturing, all right? So let's move on to the next slide. Okay. So again, the Teach Me Biz is the cloud platform specialized in SOP, okay? And then this one-stop solutions allows you to create, distribute, operate, and manage SOP based on image and videos, okay? So it can be operated and browsed from any device, including computer, smartphone, and tablet, all right? So today I prepared some demo videos on the iPad to show you how to browse and how to create the manual through Teach Me Biz, okay? Oh, before I move on to that, I have another poll to ask you. Have you created SOP by yourself? Since now SOP is a big topic in Malaysia, maybe your company or your boss asks you to create the SOP for your job or for the company, I'm not sure. And yeah, I just want to know. Okay, this poll close another 5 seconds. Okay. Wow, many of you created a SOP. All right. So somehow you managed to create it in a way, right? Okay. I hope that you today the TGBs helps you to get some another insight like how to create the SOP. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to the demo videos. Oh, by the way, before I show you these videos, this video contains some Japanese because the manuals and folders are created by Studies Corporation in Japan. But of course, you can create this folder and the manual in English. Okay, so please just ignore, right? So on the iPad screen, the bottom left, you see the O icon, the O with the glasses. This is the application of the Teach Me Biz, all right? Okay, I start the videos. So once you click, all the manuals is shown up on your right side, and then on your left is the folders, right? So if you click the all manuals on your top left, then the manuals installed in this account shows up. Okay, the left is the folders. We have two types of folders. One is the main folders, and then one is the subfolders. So you can install the manual in 2 layers, right? And then sometimes you forget the title of the manual, so you cannot find. Never mind. Teach Me Biz has the function, the search function, to find the manuals. Okay, I show you the one of the manual. Okay, this is the manual for the wrapping grapes with the bags. Okay, as I mentioned, you can use the video to show the whole process of the work to your employees, right? And then after you show the video of the whole process, then you can guide them step by step with the images. Okay, so it's easy to understand the entire process. Okay, this is the end of the manual. Then I prepare another manual, which is how to use the micrometer. This is shared by one of the manufacturing company, right? So you can show that each process step by step, so your employee wouldn't miss out the important point. Right? You can even edit the video and images for the participant to pay attention, right? Okay, this is the end of the SOP. Okay. So the next is I will show you the manual that I created by using the Teach Me Biz, okay? So lately, I get the newborn babies. So I made the manual how to fold the stroller, okay? So first you choose which folder to install this manual, right? So you can take the photo or videos, or even you can use the contents installed in the device to create the main page of the SOP. Then right now I'm keying the title of this SOP, how to fold the stroller. Then next step, I share with you some useful way of using the Teach Me Biz. You take the video of entire process, right? And then you click the necessary part and then make into the steps, the procedures, right? Because if you take the video and then share the whole videos, you don't know where's the important point, the procedures, right? They cannot follow step by step. So here, after I took the video of the whole process, now I clip out the 3 videos. All right, and then you can choose sounds on and off. If you deal with some machinery and so on, you can choose sounds on to include the sounds of the machine, right? Then you enter the title, how to take up the top cover. And then the next, I show you how to edit these videos, right? Okay, you click the pen mark and then you can write the text, press the buttons, and then you can change the size of the font. And then also you can change the colors of the font. Okay, and then you can do zoom in or zoom out. And then next is pull the lever, right? And change the size of the font. Then highlight. Okay, you can also choose 1 to 10 seconds to pause this scene so that your staff wouldn't miss it, the important point, right? So I choose 3 seconds for this scene. And then lastly, this is to take out the top cover. Okay, so this is end of editions. So later I show you how the video, the edited video looks like, okay? I created this video maybe within 3 minutes, including editions. See, to press the button, then pull the lever, and then take out the top cover. So you don't miss the important steps. Okay. So likewise, you key in the title, you enter the title for each steps, and then if you edit if necessary, then you're ready to upload these manuals. It's very simple and very easy. For the bottom part, all right, and then you can change the sequences of the steps, and then if there's unnecessary step, you can always delete, and then you're ready to publish. You can publish and then notify all the members in account, or you just simply publish, right? And then since this is the cloud service, after you publish, it goes to everybody. It's shared by everybody else, okay? All right. So now I stop sharing this screen, and then can you see the QR code behind my background? This you can refer to the SOP via TeachMeBiz by scanning this QR code on my background, or you can even access the link to the QR code on the chat. Okay, maybe you can try. I wait for another 10 seconds. You can scan from your smartphones or tablet if you have. Okay. Because each manual is linked to the QR code, right? So you can extract the QR code. TeachMeBiz has this function as well. All right. So I stop here and then I go back to the screen, yeah. Okay, so I move on next. So now, I hope you understand how creating SOP is very easy, but here's a good and bad SOP. So what is good and bad SOP, right? Well, example of the bad SOP is, let's say, how to sit because of the full text, right? I believe nobody really wants to read the manual just written by the full of text. I myself encounter so many trouble to find what is the important point, because it's the full of the text, right? Also, you cannot really understand what the SOP try to tell you, right? Because it's missing the important point, right? So these issues often cause mistakes and errors, even if the staff follow SOP, right? So how about visual SOP? Okay. Well, visual SOP is also not perfect. Okay. Also has the good and bad example, right? So bad example are use only image and videos, right? But missing the description, right? Also, many tasks are packed into the one manual, right? A few manuals packed into the one manual, right? So it is unclear and what is truly important. It confuses people, right? And then the manuals are created with too many videos. So sometimes the different staff interpret procedure differently, okay? On the other hand, the good example are describing the task very accurately with brief sentences and an adequate amount of photo are used. And then anyone can understand SOP correctly and operate without errors and mistakes, right? So these are the good examples. Okay. So today, I'd like to introduce a few case studies of the companies who manage training of the employees with this visual SOP successfully. Okay. First customer is, I think everybody, most of you knows, is a Secret Recipe. Okay, this is a mega franchise restaurant. Also use the Teach Me Biz, right? Please have a look.
Traditionally, how we actually did all our training is through manuals we use, and these manuals are actually, whenever we wanted to look for something, we had to take it out and slowly open it. It's really hard for the staff to actually look for anything in this manual. Whereas nowadays, with Teach Me Biz, all you have to do is actually look into your app, you actually can just search for the thing, and then it can just come up. So it's a lot faster, a lot easier. Everything is connected to the cloud storage. So I just have to do a click and then just like that. And then in the store it's already updated. So it's really fast. So with Teach Me Biz, really easy and user-friendly for everyone to use. And then all you have to do is just upload. There's not much language barrier because a lot of things are done visually in pictures and videos. So it's easy for them also to understand at the same time. So for franchise, not very different from how we do it with the principal. Normally we try to standardize everything with everyone. All they have to do is just to access from the tablet. So training is a lot easier now. And then also it's another cost to us, printing all the paper, all the logistic costs that come with it. This is a lot more friendly for everyone. Yeah, we save the environment at the same time. So 3 things I really love about Teach Me Biz. Number 1, it's very user-friendly. Number 2, it's very efficient and cost-saving. Number 3, it's accessible for everyone all across the globe. So we believe that when we work together with Teach Me Biz, we are able to grow our company throughout Malaysia as well as the whole world. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Before using the Teach Me Biz, right, the staff from each store always gather regularly for the group training for the case of the Secret Recipe. And then that incurs a significant cost for the transportation and accommodation, right? Because they have a number of the employees. Besides, the store manager had very difficulties in communicating with the foreign workers, right, at the store. So the TeachMeBiz solve these issues immediately, okay? And then after the paper-based SOP has been replaced with the TeachMeBiz, the printing cost was reduced significantly too, okay? So I prepare the one more case study. Next customer is Captech Thailand. This company manufacture the part and component of the construction equipment. All right. So let's have a look at the video.
TeachMe、私の中ではもうドンピシャです。その人に教えるっていう時に口頭ベースで教えてるんですね。要は誰かがいなければできないとか、誰かがじゃあ間違った知識で教えてしまうとか、いろいろそういうのもありますから、それを一本化するということで TeachMe 活用したいと思っています。結構ね、タイの方は、携帯電話の普及率も高いですし、そういう ICT なかなか興味持たれてて、スムーズに皆さん受け入れてくれました。
TeachMeBiz สะดวกสนุกและใช้งานง่ายมากเลยค่ะเป็นการสร้างคู่มือในการทำงานที่รวดเร็วง่ายแล้วก็ประหยัดเวลาในการทำงานสามารถมีเวลาไปทำอย่างอื่นได้มากขึ้นแล้วก็ช่วยลดทรัพยากรธรรมชาติเช่นการลดการใช้กระดาษได้มากขึ้นด้วยค่ะ
今ね、私この TeachMe 入れて品質に力入れてまして、うちの品質の中では 4M3H という活動を行ってまして、 4M は当然皆さんご存知かと思いますけども、 3H というのは何かしたら初めて変化久しぶり、要はそれが起こった時に人間っていうのは不具合が起きると、その時に要は今まで見なかったっていうところで TeachMe を使って現場に今携帯でね誰でも見れますから、携帯みんな個人で1人1台ずつ持ってますから、そこで必ず確認してもらうというように使っています。で今年度はチェンジ、チャレンジ、コミュニケーション 3C を使いましてスキルアップ、スパイラルアップしていきたいと考えています。その一助としてですね、今回 TeachMe を使って私たちの会社の価値を上げていきたいと考えています。
Okay, thank you. Just now, this MD from Captech Thailand mentioned about the 3H, right? Okay, mistakes and failures often occur with this 3H, okay? So 3H stands for Hajimete, Henka, and Hisashiburi, all right? Hajimete means when you operate the task for the first time, okay? Then the Henka means when, sorry, it shows Henko, but it's Henko and Henka is almost the same meaning, okay? Henko or Henka means when the operation process is changed or updated, right? And Hisashiburi means when you haven't operated for a very long time, okay? For the case of Captech Thailand, the quality of the final product has been improved significantly because of the less mistakes and failure of the employees, right? And then today, I just introduced a case study of the F&B manufacturing company, but TeachMeBiz can be used regardless of the type of industry, right? For example, the customer from banking industry and educational institutions also use TeachMeBiz for the back office work or administrative works, right? So it doesn't limit the type of industry. I think you could already imagine, right? Okay. Okay, lastly, I'd like to end this session by introducing what tasks are suitable SOP. Right. From the survey conducted for many companies in various industries, regardless of the size, okay, it was found that all types of work can be divided into these three types, okay? These are sensory type, this advanced work that cannot be reproduced without long-term experience and knowledge, okay? And then B, selective type. This is the task that requires to select the procedure from several patterns according to the situations, right? Then the last is the simple task that anyone can do if there is a procedure. So the result has to be the same, okay? So A is not really suitable for SOP because it requires the certain experience and skills and knowledge, right? But the BC is suitable for this SOP, Okay. So let me give you an example of the squid processing factory. Because I used to work in the seafood industry quite long, right? In case of the squid processing, grading fall into the A, right? Because the grading requires the certain experience and the knowledge to differentiate, right? Whereas the B, the washing cutting is depend on the grading, right? Right. If the grade change, the number of washing change, also the cutting method will be changed, right? Whereas the C, this is the simple task because regardless of the grading and regardless of the washing and then cut the way of cutting, packing and freezing is almost the same. So it's a very simple task. Okay. Also, this result of the survey shows that the ratio of A and BC is roughly 20 against 80%, regardless of the type of industry and the size of the company, right? So given that B and C account for 80%, I think there is a lot of room for improvement in the business, right? So we are happy if the cloud service like the Teach Me Biz today I introduced helps you to create additional value for the company by maximizing the work capacity, all right? So this is the end of the presentation. Thank you all for your time today. And from here, I'd like to proceed to the Q&A.
Thank you, Isa. Thank you, Katsube-san. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining the webinar today. There is a question being posed in the Q&A box right now, so I will go right into it. Question from Mr. Gideon Tan. He would like to check if we need to subscribe for this. If we do, how much does it cost and what are the security requirements? I think that's his question.
Oh, okay.
And he also said the app is amazing.
Oh, thank you very much. Can I share the screen again?
Yes, you can. Please
okay,
do.
Thank you. All right. So here's the late plan. All right. At the moment, we have 3 types of the plan, which is starter, basic, and enterprise. And we have initial support fee, which is 12,000, but this is currently waived for all the Malaysian companies because we try to develop the customers here, right? And then we try to support the customers under the bad situations, right? And then monthly fees in accordance is 2,000, 4,000, and 12,000, right? The difference is the number of the editing account and then viewing account, right? The editing account means the account which you can create the manual and then the browse or view the manuals. Whereas the viewing account has only access to the manual, means browse and then view only. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Katsube-san. I'll just provide a follow-up question to that. Are the number of manuals and videos limited by subscription?
Okay, video is, video is up to the 1,000 videos for the each account, per account, right? But the number of the manual is not limited.
All right.
And then, of course, also the number of the photos or image is not limited. Right?
Okay, so just let me summarize.
I think 1,000 video is enough to create the manuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just let me summarize. It allows up to 1,000 videos, unlimited manuals, as well as unlimited number of photos.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, any other question? Okay, Gideon has asked again. He's asking, is there a limit to the length of the video, per video, the duration?
Oh, okay. Duration, actually the size of the video is 4 GB, but the review, the time for the video is 10 minutes.
Okay, so maximum time, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Size of video maximum is 4 gig.
Yes. Okay. So
Okay.
what you can do is 10 minutes, you take the process, the whole process by the videos, as I just show my example. Then after that, you can clip out the important point and make into the steps or procedures. So that helps you a lot to save up time, create the minutes.
Okay, Gideon, I hope we've answered your questions, but please do let us know if you have any queries. We had a comment or question from Mr. Lee earlier in the chat box. He's asking, what is the ID key to Teach Me Biz? So maybe you want to describe a little bit in terms of access and if whether the this particular tool is web-based or app-based or both. And does it need a lot of internet bandwidth to utilize effectively?
Okay, first of all, you have to have a Wi-Fi, right? The preparation and a stable Wi-Fi preparation, okay? And we already checked that the Malaysia, the environment in Malaysia is fine to use the teaching piece because it's the cloud-based, and then the cloud server is in Japan. But as I show you the example of the customer from Thai and Malaysia, they use Teach Me Biz without any issues, all right? And what was the another?
Whether it's a web-based or app-based?
Okay, on the computer, you can use the browser, the Teach Me Biz browser, which of course requires the group ID, the personal ID and password, right? Whereas smartphone and tablet, you use the application, download the Teach Me Biz application, then you access to your account. But this is connected because it's a cloud solution, it's cloud-based. Okay. So yeah, whatever you create from a smartphone and iPad, and then once you update, and then later you can edit from your computer. Right? Sometimes it's a hassle to type in by smartphone and tablet, right? So yeah, you can do that.
Yes, and with cloud solution or cloud storage rather, it will save space on hardware and on-premise servers as well.
That's right.
Okay, thank you for that, Katsube. Ladies and gentlemen, do we have any questions? Yes, we do. Right. We have Mr. Lee asking 4G and 10-minute per video on total per account or per video. I believe it's per video, Katsube-san?
Oh, yes, it's per video, yes.
Yes, okay. Mr. Lee, I hope we
understand. Just to support, right? The video, you can use the MP4, M4B, and MOB, AVI, and then lately is the QT. So any type of video is mostly covered.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Next question is from David, and he's asking, how do we ensure if one has resigned and they no longer have access? Presumably, they can be removed, right?
Oh, yes, that's right. I show you. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. In order for your the staff, right, either to be a member or member or guest, right? First, you have to provide the personal ID and then the password, right? Then they can log in. But after one of your maybe staff resign, you can just simply omit these people so that they have no longer they have no access, right? Because if you don't link this member or guest, I mean your staff, to each folders, they don't have access to the folders, so they cannot, of course, refer to the manual installed inside the folders. That's how it works.
So just to repeat your clarification, staff that are utilizing the application is just able to access the folders or rather the manuals, but they're not able to make any changes to them.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. David, we hope. Sorry?
Oh, sorry. I mean, here it shows the member and guest, right? Sorry, I may confuse you with this statement. Member refer to the editing account just now I show you by the red plan slides. So this member is able to create a manual or edit manuals and then access the manual. Whereas the guest has only access to the manual, but they don't have a function to create or update manuals, right? So when you link this account to the folders, then they have a right to access to the manuals, right? So if you don't link these people to the relevant folder, forever they cannot access to the manual. That's the one thing.
So company has authority to allow who's
Yeah.
to see.
And then of course, if you omit, that's right. You can limit the access.
Okay. We hope that has answered your question. Gideon's come back with another question. He's asking how many accounts do we need for factory? And the second question is, does it work this way? He's suggesting a process where one administrator controls the video upload or anyone with an account to upload. And final question from Gideon, is it possible to integrate with SAP, for example?
Oh,
So
SAP. We cannot integrate into the SAP, the subsystem, right? We cannot. But factory, usually the adequate number of the employees from the case of this corporation is about 150 to 200 employees. If you have such number of the employees, then you can maximize the benefit of the TeachMeBiz. But for the case of the customer in Japan, some companies with 7 employees, they also use TeachMeBiz. You know why? Because now Japan is facing with the depopulation, right? So a lot of people is getting retired. But these people has the very high skill, right? And then once these people resign from the company, who can take over their positions, right? Because they don't really leave what their knowledge and experience behind in these manuals, because they follow based on their knowledge, right? So this company, the MD of this company, decided to take the TeachMeBiz to extract whatever in their brain into the manual and then visualize it. So in future, if these people resign and then other employees coming in, they can still take over their job. If not, the company face a big trouble, right? So yes, the answer to the question, yes, there is an adequate number of the employees, but it doesn't limit the company size.
Okay, Gideon,
is it okay?
I answered your question. Yes, please let us know if you have any more queries. We'll be happy to go through them with you. Next question from Hasna.
Okay.
He's asking if the content can be copied to external, meaning I think sharing with outside viewers. Is there any measurement of security for content in terms of, I think, limited it to competitors?
Oh, okay. I just use these slides to explain, right? So we have 2 types of the folders. One is the internal folder, which you can see on your left and center, right? Then the manual installed in this folder, internal folder, cannot be accessed by the outsider, right? Whereas we have so-called the public shareholder, which is open for the outsiders as well, right? Because it doesn't require the ID and password, the group ID, the personal ID, and then the password. So anyone can access to this folder to view the manuals. So some companies use this folder to show that the manual of the machinery maintenance, for example. The machinery maker, they sell the machine, right? But of course, some machine requires a lot of the maintenance, right? So before, this company get a lot of the calls from and complaint from the customers. Okay, now we have a problem with this machine, how to fix this and so on. So every time they get a call, the staff go to the site and then check the machine and so on. But after they start using the TeachMeBiz, they install the manuals for the Q&A, I mean for the solutions, for the machinery, then let the customer to access to the public shelf. And then these public shareholders, you can also set the password for each URL. So that's another way maybe you can tighten security as well.
I see. Okay, because ladies and gentlemen, just to bring you back to the presentation earlier, Katsube-san actually shared the QR code, and we also posted the link on the chat box. That's one way of sharing with non-members, outside viewers, a sample of a manual.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Hasna. We hope we answered that question for you. Mr. Lee, he's asking if we can track access And for example, can we track if the person has gone through the SOP entirely, or maybe add on with exam or assessment questions? That's a good question.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Lee. I was waiting for this these questions.
Yes, yes.
Okay, basically, above the standard, the standard plan, TeachMeBiz has the report and the usage status management function. So you can check the access log, and then if you want to know the details, for example, which person is accessing to the which manual and at what time from which device and how many times, right? You can track. And then you can even upload in a CSV format, and later on you can discuss with the management team. Okay. So that's the things you can check at the glance. And then you can analyze it, and then maybe some manuals you can even brush up, and then some people doesn't really follow up with the manuals. You can go and then talk in the private, right? Then there's one more functions lately released, which is called training functions, right? After you create the manuals, then you put this manual into the course, right? Then you can distribute this course to the trainees, so that trainee follow this course to learn the procedure of whatever they need to learn. Right? Then you can, of course, as a trainer, you can monitor the progress of each trainee. Let's say this trainee already opened the manuals, or they complete, they follow the procedure, they complete or not. You can check at a glance instantly. Yeah, so this is another function to conduct the training for your staff.
All right, thank you for that.
Okay. Yeah.
So just to summarize, it comes with analytics. So it's able to track all kinds of access, what manuals are accessed. So at the end of the day, with enough data, it will give you summary information on staff behavior, on manual usability rate, in terms of whether that manual has useful or not, that allows you to make all kinds of edits to make it more efficient. And the training function allows the company to track employees in terms of the access and the performance as well. So I think it's very useful that way. Thank you for that.
Oh, I think Ms. Yi, maybe I overlooked the one of the questions you highlighted regarding the security, right? If you are so worried about security, you can limit the IP address. That's one thing. And then also you can limit the device. After you limit the IP address, then you can limit the device.
Can you give us an example? How do you limit the IP address?
Oh, I mean there's the page that you can limit the IP address. So if the people try to access, right, and if they don't register this IP address, right, in their device, computer or the tablet, they cannot access the TeachMeBiz itself.
I see. So by registering the IP address, then technically we can find out where they are accessing the app from.
Yes, also can.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right. We have Gideon telling us that he has, I think, approximately 180 employees.
Okay.
Good info to know.
That's very good.
Yes, it's a relatively big manufacturing setup. His follow-up question is, accounts are for guests or members? And for guests, is it free?
Okay. Actually, it's all goes back to the plan. Let's say the startup plan has 10 editing account and then 50 viewing account. Basic plan has the 30 editing account, 150 viewing account, and then the enterprise 100 editing account and viewing account, right? And you can also customize in accordance with your needs or the size of your company. Okay. For example, if you don't want to increase the number of editing account, right? Because you don't want many people to touch on the SOP, right? Maybe you can choose the starter but then you can increase the number of the viewing account. You see, you can add the additional viewing account. That's the one way you can customize the plan.
Okay, thank you for that. Gideon says thanks. Mr. Lee has one final question, and he's asking if there's any grant for us to purchase the app.
If there is any
grant or government funding that we can utilize to purchase the app.
There is the plan. I mean, before it was. I forgot which one is it. There was some grant. But I don't know if the government still allow to use up this. I mean, apply for this grant because there's the deadline. I think the deadline is already passed. But I can check that and then get back to you. Okay, and then also last time I also checked with this government. Oh, sorry, it was already closed. Just one of the colleagues just showed it's already closed and ended. Sorry.
All right, thank you, Katsube-san. So, Mr. Lee, I think we will keep you informed if there's any funding or grant available to purchase or subscribe to technology. I believe this is one of smart technology that industry can utilize. So it's usually some form of funding available from various ministries. All right, thank you.
Okay, just to add one more things. Right now, I try to support the companies in Malaysia. So if you subscribe by end of this month, I myself go to your premise and then help to create a few manuals, right? Because I understand that if even you subscribe this kind of application, if somebody doesn't the kick off the project, then the project cannot move on, right? So I try to be a kicker for this project. Go to your premise and then maybe discuss with your employees, or you appoint some of the employees to be a member of this project. Then we can do together, okay? And then of course I don't charge any fees.
So ladies and gentlemen, we've got the extra special service provided by Katsube-san. So Gideon Tan is asking, slides available for us? Yes, we will send you a copy of the recording. And if you have got any queries, please let us know. We will provide our contact details later. For any kind of information that you require, we will get back to you accordingly. Right, so one last question from Mr. Lee, I think it's for SHRDC. For us to become the subscriber, we write onto your platform. Thank you for the suggestion. At this point, there are no plans yet. Yes, but we are looking into e-learning, and as such, this sort of application, I believe, is useful, making things clear step by step for our trainees and training participants. So we'll let you know if we are able to offer this to you. Thank you very much. All right, so I have one last question.
Okay.
Katsube-san, perhaps you can share with us currently globally, which are the industries that are utilizing this particular application?
Okay, to answer your questions, mostly the retail and the manufacturing and then F&B. Because this industry is quite labor intensive, right? Has a lot of number of employees. This is the number of the companies in Japan. That's this corporation. They have over 2,600 companies, regardless of the industry and then the size. Some are airline, some are the hotels, some are the big shopping mall, or supermarket, manufacturing company, the Skylab Group, which is the mega F&B lines, the banking. I think many of you know UFJ, Mitsubishi UFJ Bank. Yeah, so it doesn't really meet the industry, but if you ask which industry use the most, yes, it's a manufacturing, retail, and then the F&B.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your questions and comments. I'll hand over the session back to Isa right now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Yilin, and thank you, Katsube-san, for the presentation you're sharing today.